Good morning, good afternoon, good evening from wherever you are in the world. My name is Jessica and this is my May TBR WhoDunnit edition. So a couple of weeks ago, I found this little readathon that's happening in May and it's called WhoDunnit. And the hosts are Paige from Pages with Paige, Danielle from Bookchara, or Bookara, sorry, and Naomi from, I think it's Naomi's Bookshelf. I will put everyone right up there. I will also link them down below, and I will link announcement videos down below. But this is basically based on Cluedo, and there's a few games around YouTube that focus on TBRs based on Cluedo. And so these guys have made a readathon out of it. And I got really excited because I love Cluedo, but I have nobody to play it with. So that's fun. Basically with this, you have to read a book for 3 rooms, 3 weapons, and 3 characters. You can double up, you can triple up. And the prompts are actually very malleable. Paige described it as if it sits, it fits. Basically, you can stretch the prompts however you want. You don't have to read mysteries as well. So I thought this would be really fun, and I've already got on one of my shelves, on the shelf here, some possibilities that I would like to read in May, but I thought it would be really fun if we actually grabbed some of the cards and chose our TBR together. So that's what we're going to do. Before I start, there is the option to play as any one of the characters you want, and each of these characters have different special abilities. Like one of them you can start a day earlier, or like a certain number of days earlier. I chose Miss Scarlet, and that is because I'm crazy and I want to read as many books as possible and actually challenge myself. But Miss Scarlet's special ability is to skip the challenge wheel right at the very end, I think, before you have to make your final guess. And so yes, I am playing as Miss Scarlet. So for the character prompts, we're just going to shuffle. And I do have the prompt list, or like the prompt suggestions. I have them open on another tab here, so you guys get to see before I do. Hopefully that is all. That one, okay. It is Reverend Green. Awesome. Okay, so for Reverend Green, you can read like a green book, or you can read something with like a faith-based kind of thing, or you know, there could be green on the cover, maybe gardening, because green. And I do have some options for that, so I'll pop that here. The first one, and you're getting a sneak peek of my book haul, that is Masters of Death by Oliver Blake. So that is my first option. What else have I got here? The Inheritance Games, because that's got a green cover. I could also, if I can find it, I could also go with Educated, because that is about this woman named Tara who grew up in a, well, I'm going to say it's a cult, just because of their beliefs. So that's 3 options. I think I'm going to go with Masters of Death for this one. Oh, there's pictures in it. I cannot tell you how much I love books with pictures. They're just so distracting in the best way possible. So, Masters of Death is about a girl named Viola, by the look of it. She's also a vampire. She's selling a haunted house. The ghost haunting the mansion has been murdered, and until he solves the mystery behind his death, he refuses to move on. It just sounds like it's going to be a really good time. Yeah, that sounds like it's going to be such a great time. And it's got pictures. I'm so excited about the pictures. So I think that is going to be my choice for Reverend Green, is Masters of Death by Oliver Blake. I'll give it another shuffle. So I am going to try and read the 9 books this month for this, but if I need to, I will double up. And just having the 9 books there gives me a lot of options. Okay. I'm feeling this one for whatever reason. Hopefully it's up the right way, and that is Dr. Orchid. Okay. So that is Dr. Orchid, Mrs. White, and you could have a book about a maid or a book that has white on the cover. So educated being one of those options. Oh my gosh. Almost had a disaster there. Okay. Let's have a think. This is another recent haul, the Guernsey Literary and Potato Peel Pie Society. That's a hell of a name, but that is a white colour as well. And also potato. I don't know whether this has any kind of like domesticness, like housewifey type deal in it, but it kind of gives me that vibes just based on the name and based on the fact that it's like World War One. That's another option. Book featuring a doctor or a psychiatrist. I could choose The Hypnotist as well. This features a doctor hypnotizing somebody as well, and I think it's got quite a lot to do with psychology. That scares me though, so no. I mean, like, very small writing, and it is 503 pages. I mean, it's not that bad. Okay, I'm not going to choose it for that one, but it could be an option. It could be an option this month. What else? I could do The Lost Flowers of Alice Hart. And that is absolutely a good option. The floppy book. I think I'm going to choose, I guess, this one with the absurdly long title. This is also a very recently hauled book. And it just sounds like it's going to be quite light and fun. It is a moving tale of post-war friendship, love, and books. So, yeah, I think it's going to be nice and light, and I've had a pretty heavy month in April. So, I'm going to choose that for Dr. Orchid. So, character number 3, do another. I'm kind of hoping I get Miss Scarlet. I'll choose this one. And that is Miss Scarlet. Woo! I must have felt it. I was giving those vibes. Right. Miss Scarlet. I originally had Scarlet by Marissa Meyer, and I think I'm going to keep that as the option. But let's just see if there's any other ones. I could also put Cinder. I'm going to be reading these two this month anyway. That's because for Pokemon there's a retelling, and also like for my state books, 3 different colours of red on the cover. So I'm going to be reading these two anyway. I mean, I think Scarlet is really the only option here. Scarlet for Miss Scarlet. So I'm going to choose that one. But that is Scarlet by Marissa Meyer for Miss Scarlet. Great, easy. Okay, so next we are going to have a look at the weapons. And I'll give everything a bit of a shuffle. Everything was shuffled before I started filming, but may as well just... Okay, this one flew out at me, so I don't know what it was. It is the rope. Oh, okay. This one is like... What was the rope? So something that's like a floppy book, or something that isn't in your genre and isn't in your wheelhouse. There's a suggestion here saying ties you off in knots. I don't know what that means. Like, maybe it's a confusing book. So something that isn't really my genre and is a floppy book, actually, is The Hypnotist. Because I'm not really a thriller person. I try. I mean, it's not floppy, but it is floppy. So that's an option, is The Hypnotist. The one that I had planned for that is Dracula. Focus. Thank you. Because, again, classics isn't really my genre either. I really want to read this, though. And I'm fairly certain I'm buddy reading this with someone this month. But then I'm also buddy reading it with somebody in October as well. If the person that I am buddy reading with that this month is watching, please remind me who you are. I know we've talked about it on stream. Holy crap, that is some very small writing. I can do it. It's 350 pages, for goodness sake. So that is an option. Let's see, is there anything else? Can put this in here. Ties you up in knots. So this is the Kitchen Boy, a novel of the last Tsar, by Robert Alexander. One of the best, but also one of the most confusing books I have ever read. And it does kind of... When I think ties you up in knots, I think like it leads you somewhere and then like there's a dead end. And then you've got to try and get over that, or like there's like it's confusing. I'm going to go with... Well, this is also a floppy book. So this is a floppy book. And this was a 5-star read. And it's a relatively short book as well. So we could have a short length of rope. 229 pages, but so much content going into that 229 pages. It feels like a much longer book than what it actually is. So that's another really good choice. So of the three options, I think I'm going to pick Dracula, with the kitchen boy being a backup. So editing Jess here. I know I have just said that I was going to pick Dracula, and I will still read this. Please, if I'm buddy reading it with you, then let me know, because I don't want to leave you in the dark. Get it? Dracula, dark. Anyway, I decided to switch that out actually for a book that I found last week, called Surviving Centrepoint. Surviving Centrepoint is a non-fiction. It's very heavy content, lots of trigger warnings. There's sexual abuse, drug and alcohol abuse, especially for minors. But it is about a cult that was here in New Zealand, and actually not very far away from where I live now. And it was just going through somebody's experiences who actually lived on the commune. And so being a non-fiction, it is not my genre. So that's why I chose that for that. So yeah, my actual choice for rope is Surviving Centrepoint. That one. That is The Lead Pipe. Oh, The Lead Pipe being something that's like heavy in content, or like there's something toxic. So it could be like a toxic relationship or fun. And for this one, where is it? It's a Midnight Library. And this does definitely have some toxic, well, not toxic, well, it is toxic content, but it's quite heavy. And it's, if you know, you know, but it's essentially about a girl who dies, and then she gets, like, she is in this library, and each book is like a situation where if she would have chosen like a different path, it could have led to that difference in her life. So it's almost like a what if scenario, but that is absolutely a choice. Also, The Kitchen Boy is a choice because it has some really heavy content, like with the revolution and the, probably going to butcher this, but is it Bolsheviks? And also essentially the murder of the whole Romanov family. Yeah, that's quite heavy content and quite toxic as well. What else? I could read The Doll Factory. This is about a girl who is wanting to be an artist, a collector, and I think this collector gets jealous of Iris, and he gets absolutely obsessed with her and stuff like that. So that is also an option. Of the three of them, I am going to pick The Kitchen Boy because I really want to reread it. And it was gonna be on here anyway. I was gonna read it this month anyway. And that also works for my chicken prompt for Pokemon as well. So we've got yellow everywhere. We've also got black and we've also got white on the cover as well. And so that's what I'm going to choose for that one. Okay, one more. This one. That is the dagger. Okay. Dagger. I could choose the Inheritance game because it actually has a dagger on the cover, a knife on the cover. So that is an option. Short book as well. To the point. A book with betrayal in it, which I feel like the Inheritance games probably will. You know what? Oh, actually, the Midnight Library is a short book. 288 pages. Okay, this is really hard because on Leandra's Sprints, we were originally talking about doing a read along for this in May. And I was like super excited to do that, but they've made it for June or July. I don't know. I might go for the Midnight Library because I do want to take part in that buddy read and read it along with them. So I think I'm going to choose the Midnight Library for that one because that's a relatively short book. It's shorter than 300 pages, and that's what I would consider a short book. So I will go with that. Right. Next one. This is where we've got the rooms. All right. That one. That is the dining room. Okay, so something maybe about food, or like gathering, food on the cover. Ooh, that's actually a hard one. I could go for Legends and Lattes. Again, another new purchase. Because that's essentially about an ogre who opens a coffee shop. And apparently it's quite like chilled out and laid back and very cozy and stuff like that. So I could go for Legends and Lattes. That is a option. I am also going to go for the Lost Flowers of Alice Hart because there is a flower farm and there's a lot of gathering of flowers. So there's gathering related. This would also work if I get the conservatory. So there's those. There's also the Little Britain Bistro, which I could read. I think it's about someone who escapes to Paris and she opens up a bistro, or she meets a chef or something like that. And of course, like there's always like dining things associated with that, because obviously you've got to have like chairs and stuff. So I've got these 3 options, being the Little Britain Bistro, and there's also a dining table on the cover. Legends and Lattes, and The Lost Flowers of Alice Hart. I think I'm going to do Legends and Lattes just because it's cozy and I'm not really feeling anything with some heavy themes. So yeah, I think I'm going to do that. So that will be Legends and Lattes for dining room. 2 more. Okay, this one, just this one, kind of yanked out at me. So you guys get to have the first look, and that is well, ask and you shall receive. Conservatory. I feel like the only one that I can put on there, because I did say it, is The Lost Flowers of Alice Hart. This is heavy subject matter though. Oh, okay. Let's have a look. What else can I put? I could also go The Nightingale, because that's got like a flowery design on the cover. Glass walls. Oh, I could also do Love Redesigned, I think, because when I think of this, like, for some reason I think of The Lake House, that movie with what was it? Was it Keanu Reeves and Sandra Bullock? And there's also like I don't know what you guys call it, but it's like a pergola, which to me is like garden related. Hello, light. And so I could also do that. I'm really not feeling the heavy themes. But this is over 500 pages. But it's like, it feels like it's going to be a pretty quick read. So I think I'm going to go with Love Redesigned, putting The Lost Flowers of Alice Hart as like a backup. 1 more. That one, apparently. That is The Study. Okay. So The Study could be like something that's quite academic, or like a dark academia maybe. Something you want to learn about, a non-fiction. So we've got Educated by Tara Westover. That could be an option. Set in a school. I could do, I can't reach it at the moment, but I could do book 7 of the Harry Potter series, which I'm very tempted. I could do The Immortal Life of Henrietta Lacks. This is like a biography, or not really a biography, but it talks about Henrietta Lacks, where like her genetics was used without her permission, and basically catapulted medicine from from helping to find vaccines to like cancer treatments and all of that kind of thing. I could go the Thursday Murder Club, because they are studying this murder that happens on their doorstep, and I think they meet up to investigate unsolved murders. So there's that. I did try reading this a while ago, and it obviously wasn't the right time for me to read it because I DNF'd it. But I do want to try this again. I think I'm going to go with Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows. That's because, I mean, the whole series is basically set in a school, and I know this isn't like fully in the school, but you know, like maybe part of it, at least half of it, I think, is set at Hogwarts, and they are technically still students. So I think we're going to go with Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows for that. So those are our 9 books. So for our WhoDunnit TBR, these are our 9 books. So we have Masters of Death, the really long title, the Guernsey Literary, the Guernsey Literary and Potato Peel Pie Society, Scarlet, Dracula, The Kitchen Boy, The Midnight Library, Legends and Lattes, Love Redesigned, and Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows. So that is my WhoDunnit stack. Some of these books will double up / hopefully triple up for some of the other respawns I've got. I've obviously got Pokemon, and as soon as the video drops for Tale from Two Trails, we'll do another reaction from that, and I will try and get some of these books on that TBR and hopefully not read as much. Hopefully not read as much this month as I did in April. Let me know what you think. Have you read any of these books? Are you participating in the WhoDunnit Readathon, and are you excited for any prompts in particular? And also, if you are, let me know what character you're playing. That brings us to the end of this video. I hope you enjoyed that. Thank you very much for watching, and I will see you next time. Bye bye.